time for the Wonderkid 11. So no rules, just your favorite picks for each position, and we have to determine it individually as Wonderkid. So let's go. Jamie, break down your 11, and then I'll give you mine, and I'll tell you where you went wrong.
Yeah, I think we'll have structured this quite different because I'm classing a Wonderkid as anyone that's under the age of 20, bar the goalkeeper, who I'll talk about separately, and is not an established like first team player or hasn't been for like a couple of seasons yet. So under the age of 20, and they're like still kind of breaking through, not like first team level yet. So that's what
this is interesting. Yeah, this is interesting because I know we didn't set a parameter specifically to see if we can get some differences, and I've actually also gone for exactly the same criteria.
I knew we would. We're too
under 20 or where possible, except for the keeper, and tried not to pick anyone that's either already been in the league or whatever. So transferred in or promoted teams, whatever, or just fresh youth prospects.
Yeah,
are all valid. But for me, I didn't go for it. For example, just as a pointer, like Miles Lewis Skelly already had his breakout year, but
I also didn't pick him. So let me. Other than my goalkeeper, I'll get my goalkeeper out of the way now because he's the only one that's not. I couldn't find a goalkeeper that I could comment on that was under the age of 20 and not already broke through. So I just went for a young keeper that, to be fair, he has already broke through. But again, so I went for Bart Verbruggen at Brighton as my goalkeeper. You did the exact same, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah, I did. I had an honorary mention, but yeah, De Bruggen was mine.
This team's going to be the exact same. So right back, I've gone for Achiampong from Chelsea.
Oh, you've gone for him at right back. That's such a cop-out.
He's a right back.
He's not.
I promise you. Look at his player profile on Transfermarkt.
No, he can play right back, to be totally fair. So he can play right back, but you will see him play centre-back primarily for Chelsea. I think the games he's played this year for us...
I went on Transfermarkt's player positions for this.
Fair enough.
I'll be honest.
Fair enough.
Because I didn't know much about him. I'll be honest, this one was one of those ones where I had to kind of Google about a little bit and see what the players were like. And he came up as a right back, so...
It's understandable. I'll give that one, to be fair. And he's a class player, so you've not done bad.
So my two centre-backs, I've gone for Giovanni Leone at Liverpool. Obviously, we've just signed him, but he's 18 and he's pretty widely known as a good youth prospect. I went for Vitor Reis or Reis, or however you pronounce his last name, from City. I know he's out on loan at the minute, but just to touch on kind of the things that made me pick him, it's obviously, I think he's 19 years old now, shows really good maturity. He's good on the ball. He's good at positioning himself on the pitch. To be honest, I think he'll be probably playing for City in the next year or two in the first team. He does look really, really good. Left back,
interesting pick.
Left back, I went for Jarell Hatto. Now, this one is controversial to what I said at the start because I think he will play quite a few games for Chelsea. But because he hasn't yet and he's still kind of in the teenage bracket, he was kind of the obvious choice at left back. For me, like I said, with Lewis Skelly, again, he's kind of already first team ready now. He's broken into it, so I'm not classing him as a Wonderkid, even though he's teenage. CDM, so I've got a CDM and two cams, like a 4-3-3 kind of thing. I went for Trey Nioni at Liverpool. This is one of those people you kind of have to watch like throughout pre-season and some of the youth stuff, like youth games that he plays in, for you to kind of understand like kind of how good he is or is
he's one of those I know Liverpool fans have gone have sort of highly touted as a player, and I've seen bits and pieces, but obviously he's not had any first team from what I understand, or not much.
No, he hasn't exactly, and that's why he's in. So, he's a little bit like Gravenberch actually. Play style wise. Interesting. Now, Cam, technically he's in the first team for the first few games of the season, and I think he did play a little bit there last season, but I don't think he's like established there yet. I went for Josh King at Fulham, and I've also got Max Dowman at Cam, so two kind of attacking midfielders. Again, right wing, I went for Esteval. Again, I know he's played some games, but we don't know that he's established there yet. It's still kind of early in his Chelsea career. Striker, I went for Chido Obi. I looked at some of this guy's stats, by the way, they're unbelievable. 32 goals in 18 games at under 18 level, and he was 16 playing for the under 18s, and that was when he was at Arsenal. So if that doesn't tell you anything about him, then I don't know what to tell you.
This is actually a ridiculously similar team. I'm very surprised. To be honest with you, we didn't obviously have any idea. We always try and keep our picks and everything away from each other.
Yeah.
But let me go through mine, and
I've not
you'll
given
see
you my
these
left
add
wing
on.
yet.
Oh, just tell us it's Ungumara
It
and
is
just move
Ngamo.
on.
But I've got some honourable mentions I want to discuss quickly as well.
Yeah, but just quickly, who did you get for left back as your honourable mentions? Because there was quite a few. Like there was
I didn't.
Skelly, Hato.
It was
There
pretty
is
much
quite a
Hato
few.
for me.
Kirkhead is obviously 21 as well, by the way.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not very
not a
old.
teenager.
No,
Didn't fit
you
that
want him
criteria.
under 20. Okay. Or 20. I say 20 and under, but okay.
Yeah, I went 20 under. Honourable mentions quickly. I had Chris Rigg from Sunderland. I've heard some really good things about this guy.
Mate, so have I. He's in. Yeah, go on anyway. Go on.
Yeah, Chris Rigg. Nwaneri, again, he probably would have been in, but I think he's probably had too many first team.
He hasn't really had much, though. I thought the same, but
but he's probably. To be fair, you're probably right. I don't think he plays that often. I think, to be honest, Dowman plays ahead of him already. And then last one, Kostulas.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. No, that's interesting because you could have also looked at Simas, the other Greek striker they bought in as well from Stuttgart.
Simas,
Interesting. Well, let me just go through the team because this is going to sound like we're repeating each other, to be fair. I actually did also think about picking Trafford in goal.
Yeah, but I did.
I just don't think because of obviously the arrival of Donnarumma that he's going to get a shout at all. So,
but that's kind of the criteria I went for, to be honest. The ones that weren't playing as much yet.
The Bruggen's a very good goalkeeper. I think Netherlands have got they've got a safe pair of hands there for a while now. I think it's 23. They've got a keeper for the next decade.
Yeah.
And he's pretty good with his feet, and he's a typical modern keeper as well. So. Couldn't look past him again for the same reasons as you, and I think it was an easy pick for that one. Other than that, though, this is where we have a little difference at right back. I've gone for Brentford's Coyote. Didn't know too much about him at first, but then obviously having done the research for the video and seen a little bit of him at the start of the season, he's a very interesting Italy under 21 international. Obviously very athletic. He's got fair dribbling, to be honest. And he's even got little traits like a good long throw on him. Not that matters too much, but he's just a solid player. Almost kind of reminds me of.
I looked at him.
Yeah. And so I think this year you'll see a lot more of him, and there's a potential breakout season coming there, where he'll get a lot more game time. So keep your eyes on that one. The other one's very similar. I've gone for Achampong at centre back because I just, as a Chelsea fan, I see him playing there more. Although he probably will get game time across the back, to be honest. I think he can even play left back at a push. And then I've gone with Mosquera. He's 21, but I know you think he's a bit older, but
sorry, who was your centre back?
Achampong.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
So Achampong and then Mosquera. I know Mosquera kind of breaks the rest of the team format slightly, but he's only 21, he's a newcomer, and I really liked what I saw of the guy, to be honest. Very athletic, actually fairly good on the ball. Played some good progressive passes, and I think it would just be an absolute bargain. Probably get a bit more game time, knowing the number of injuries and the amount of games Arsenal will have. So, really like the guys from what I've seen. And then left back, I went Harto as well. Easy pick. I think he's just gonna.
Yeah, let's get your Chelsea players, and so I kind of knew.
Mate, to be honest with you, Chelsea. I mean, if we didn't have a number of Chelsea players in this, given our transfer strategy, it'd be a bit embarrassing. So, but yeah, so De Bruggen, Coyote, Harto, and Mosquera. Obviously in the reverse order. And then for the centre defensive mids, I actually went with Chris Rigg, who you mentioned.
That's why he got annoyed when I mentioned him.
Yeah. I think he's obviously a Sunderland player. Very highly rated by Sunderland fans. And I expect he'll get a lot of game time. And from what I've seen, obviously played very well in the Championship. I think he'll just slot in alongside next to Xhaka, and he'll probably learn a hell of a lot from him as well. So could be a good development season. No doubt some good performances there. And this one is a bit of a cheat. I was struggling a little for centre defensive mids. So I've kind of gone with two of those, but I went for Archie Gray. Now, I know he's played a lot already.
You just said you're struggling for centre defensive mids, but you went for two of them.
Because I kind of like the 4-2-3-1. That's the formation I went for. Because,
All right.
yeah, I think if you put two cams in there, it's just not for me. And I think even if you went 4
I
3
did
3
look at
as well,
Archie Gray, to be fair. But again, the only reason I didn't is I just think he's played too much already.
yeah, you could have even put Bergvall in potentially, who's also very
He's
good at
class,
Tottenham.
by the way. He's
Oh, he's a great player. But saying all of that, like I think Archie Gray, whilst he played a bit, I think just because of how shocking Spurs season was last year.
To be fair, I
didn't-
think he had to play a lot, didn't he? Because they had so many injuries. So I don't know if he would
Yeah,
have
like
played
Bentancur was out.
as much if
They had
they didn't have
loads.
them.
I just think with Thomas Frank this year, and obviously in a proper system, that he'll shine in that. To be honest, I think especially with a bit more experience. Still young. I think he's only 19, so fits in for me. And then again, we've got pretty much the same. In fact, the exact same sort of three there. So 2 wingers being Esteban and Gamoa, and the cam being Josh King. Or I kind of put Nwaneri as well. I feel like
Have you not got Dowman in your team?
No, do you know what this is? I feel like obviously he's a great talent.
This cannot be a team unless you've got Max Dowman in it.
No. Do you know what? I've started to get on. I think there's a bit too much of a hype train at the minute for Dowman. Like, don't get me wrong, to come in and even play any minutes for the first team at this age is outrageous. But Nwaneri is an unbelievable player, and I think he's getting overlooked a lot just because he's about 3 years older than Dowman.
Dowman is like the same position, and he's the one that's been coming on it.
Dowman's been playing on the right wing though, and Nwaneri can play a bit more of a cam.
When he
Dowman
came
played
on,
right wing. Yeah, he come on as right wing.
Did he?
Yeah. I think obviously he's got potential to play in the cam, but I kind of thought Dowman was the obvious pick, and I just expect Nwaneri to kick on a bit more this year because obviously he's a bit older, a bit more primed to have a breakout. Okay. So for me, I think Nwaneri is getting overlooked, and I think he's an unbelievable player. Like Chelsea were linked with him at one point before he signed his extension, and I was absolutely like licking my lips at the prospect.
I remember us talking about it. To be fair,
yeah, mate. Honestly, I would have stolen Nwaneri over Garnacho, for example, any day. Obviously, slightly different positions, but talent-wise, I think he's got it all. And then as for the striker, I went Chido Obi as well, but I also put an honorary mention for the other Gray brother who plays at Leeds, and then CMAS as well, potentially as well.
Which other Gray brother?
I think it's Harry Gray.
I've never heard of this guy, to be fair.
Yeah, mate. The Gray sort of family. I think that Andy Gray used to play for Leeds anyway, like an old pro. And obviously he's got a few. I don't know what relation they are to him, but there's another one in the academy. I think he's the youngest to ever get his debut. Harry Gray is even younger than obviously the Archie Gray at Spurs. So yeah, I think there's obviously something in that family gene pool. They seem to produce good players. So
yeah. To be fair,
I think he had pretty good stats as well. I think obviously Chido Obi's stats are different level, by the way. Yeah, they are unreal. So I don't know whether he'll get any game time, to be fair. I mean, I expect United to be sinking. So
when Sesko inevitably flops in United's team, because that's what all strikers do when they go to United, I might imagine he might get a couple of games.
I know it's in the video for it, but yeah, Sesko doesn't strike me with a lot of confidence as a United fan, I tell you. I don't know whether I don't know. Right, separate video. I can go on about this, but yeah. So again, for me, I think we have quite a lot of similar players. Then we've got both Hato, both Achimpong, both De Bruggen, Esteval, Josh King, Ungamoa, and Chido Obi. So there's only a few differences.
I'm shocked you didn't have Dowman in your team. I'll be completely honest.
I thought it was just like I say. I think, don't get me wrong, the hype is for a good reason, but he's only going to get a few cameo appearances this year, and I think
as are most of these players, surely, no?
Yeah, but Nwaneri has been promised more game time. Like the whole reason he signed the extension was because he was supposed to be getting more of a role, and I feel like if he does get that game time, it's class. Like the guy's
but part of his extension, I believe, I could be wrong, was that he wanted to play through the middle more.
Yeah, I think he sees himself as a 10. That's why I put him in that position. Whereas I thought Dowman was on the right.
Who's your right winger?
It's
Esteval, sorry. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So for me as well, that was partly why, because I see Dowman playing on. Well, he came on as a right wing, and I just see him playing as more of a right wing. So for me, Esteval's the obvious pick. I mean, I know we haven't spoken about him much because we've already given him about half an hour's airtime on the channel, and you're keen to remind me about that.
Yeah, you do like talking about Esteval.
But at the risk of becoming the Brazilian national team YouTube channel, the guy's unreal. The guy is, I know he's like gotten so much hype that you kind of want to push back on it now because you're getting a bit like, oh, but the guy's the different gravy. So easy pick. And I think the rest of us, we kind of agree on even some of the honorary picks like Chris Grigg and some of the others. So
yeah, Chris Rigg, Costulas was on mine.
Costulas could have been on mine, to be fair. I just haven't seen anything from him yet.
I think Greece won the 2024 UEFA Youth Cup or something like that, and he was obviously a key part in that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Which is why, obviously, he went for such a big fee to.
It's a shame,
but it looks like Greece have got quite a few young prospects.
Oh, mate, they're having somewhat of a golden generation there, aren't they? And do not surprises me more than anything. Marinakis being a Greek compatriot. I'm surprised he hasn't, obviously knowing that he's going to get his Greek mate Anjan, didn't get him a couple of Greek youngsters in there.
That's just a good point, actually.
Mate, but craziness with that. I mean, obviously we're recording on the day of the Anj sort of being announced, so it's fresh in the head at the minute. But yeah. But obviously slightly off tangent. That is my 11 and your 11. Any other honorary mentions or anything that we haven't got to discuss?
No, not from me.
Sweet. As always, if you're this far in the video, always really appreciate it. If you can find your way to the like button, give that a smash for us.
I think it's just below. If you look at your video, I think it's just below the video frame, and there's a like button on there. And I'm pretty sure right next to it, there's a big button that says subscribe as well. So if you want to smash that
one, folks. Don't worry about that subscribe button. No, I'm jokes. Anyways, have a good one. Thank you. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye.